I did about $580,000 on Etsy in just 2023 alone. And if I was able to use ChatGPT when I started, I know that I could have probably have fast-tracked some of that progress. So in this video, I'll go over how you can create 60 designs in 30 minutes using ChatGPT. Let's get into it. All right, so step one, product market fit. The most important thing in the beginning is to find the design that actually works. I've talked about that previously in other videos, so I won't be talking about that here. But if you want to check out videos regarding that, you can find that here or here. Once we have a design that actually works, it's time to broaden ourselves into other niches so we can scale out to different niches. And what I like to do is that I like to test out broad niches first. So let's say that we have a design that does really well, like a custom design that does really well. Then we might test that out in different types of niches. Let's say that we want to try the teacher niche, a nurse niche, and see if it works there. Let's also test out a basketball niche and see if it works there. And in all of those tries, let's say that it's only the teacher niche itself that the design worked well in, because the design won't really work well in every single niche. But let's say that it worked well in the teacher niche. If it works well for a specific teacher niche, then it's time to double down on it. Let's say that we garnered, for instance, maybe 3 to 5 sales in the beginning when we don't have much sales at all. 3 to 5 sales is a lot. Let's say that we were at that point, we have gotten some sales, like 3 to 5 sales for a teacher niche, but nothing in the other niches that we just tested out with our proven design. Then it's time to double down on it. And what I mean by double down on it, it's time to just focus on all the sub niches within the teacher niche. And that's when it's time to use a scalable design. When we have a design style that actually works, it's time to make a scalable design version. So let's say, for instance, that this is our great design that worked super well with our custom design. People want this specific design, and this is the design that they decided that they want to purchase, and that's worked really well. And we tested it out in, for instance, just pre-K teacher niche, and it worked super well there. Okay, so now we know that pre-K teachers love this design. Okay, but there are different types of teachers as well that it could work for. And to scale it out efficiently, what I like to use is ChatGPT. So if you're just in ChatGPT here, we can just give them this simple prompt, which just says, can you give me a list of all different teacher professions in USA listed in numerical order? Hit enter, and we'll see what pops up. Okay, so we have lots of different teachers here. Previously, I did find in the 60 of them. So we'll use this instead. I used this prompt. Can you give me a list of different teacher professions? I got this, and then I asked it to list this in, can you list it in a numerical order? Now I got 60 different type of teacher professions. Then we just take this and we just make it like this. We know the pre-K, so let's just write, for instance, teacher here on our cute cursive design, and just write preschool up here. And also on FYI, these fonts are ones that I've found on Creative Fabrica, where I get all my fonts and all my elements. There's a link in the description if you want to use that, but I'd highly recommend. I personally use it, and I love Creative Fabrica as well. This one is called the second pointed font, and this one is called the Chica font, which I've used previously on my channel. So if you're a regular here, you might actually recognize the font itself. So then we just basically have preschool teacher here. What we do here, and then you just take kindergarten. So we download this, and this is our first design. So teacher design. This then is our first design, preschool, and then we just swap this for kindergarten instead. Now we have our second design, and then we just scale this so it makes sense. Kindergarten teacher. And then we take early childhood special education teacher, and then maybe just elementary teacher. We just go down this whole list, and then we have 60 different types of occupations within the teacher niche that our design could actually work well for. And all that we actually are really doing is that we're keeping teacher here as the text underneath, and we're just swapping out the big college font letters for the different professions. So GED instructor. For this one, we will obviously change teacher to instructor, but online instead, for instance, online teacher, we just write online here instead of kindergarten, and we just go down the list and just swap out the text so that it fits our list here. And then we have 60 different types of designs that we can then put up on Etsy. So all we're really doing here is just swapping out specific words for words within the list that we have, and then we just downloading the design, and then we gotta put it up on mockups on Canva as well. I really recommend having templates already set so that you can just upload the design on Canva, then go to uploads here, and then just drag the design each time to each mockup that you are putting the design on. That really makes the flow really seamless. I usually have one picture for each mockup up here, and then I just take the design from uploads, drag it on top of the mockup, download, and do the same thing for the other one, same thing for the other one, but one tab for each mockup. You download that. And now to make the last part, which can be one of the most time-consuming parts, and that's listing it on Etsy. What I really recommend here is that you just copy a listing on Etsy itself, you swap out the images, you swap out the SEO, and then you just post that on top onto the platform. In my experience, maybe it's like 10 to 20% of my listings that I've actually put up has actually sold. That means if we push things through Printify so that every SKU is synced, we will have a whole other part of just listing on Etsy. Since we have to push things on Printify and then it goes to Etsy and then we have to swap out the SEO, we have a whole other thing that we always got to do when we push stuff to Etsy. Since most listings don't even sell, it doesn't really make sense in my opinion to just push stuff from Printify to Etsy. I did this in the beginning for a long time before I just realized that it's just better to copy stuff on Etsy, as all you need to do in that case, if it's for instance a sweatshirt listing, then all you need to do is just to copy the sweatshirt listing, since all the information about the product will already be there, and all you need to do would be to swap out SEO and the photos. It goes so much faster because you don't have to involve the Printify process of pushing from Printify to Etsy. I always do that later on when something actually sells, and I just sync each variant as I get my orders. I never actually personally use the SKU function, as that takes so much time in my opinion. And what that is that you can go into a template on Printify, see which SKU is for each size. A SKU is just a number that signify a product variant on a specific template. Let's just head to Printify to make it easy. Just go here and then just go into sweatshirts here. And I'll just show you instead. Let's use Monster Digital, as that's my favorite provider. Let's see here, and then just push this up here. We'll just save this. So one thing that I never do, because if you look at this, if someone buys the color white in size S, that refers to a specific SKU. Now you can copy this number and insert this for the size S variant in white on Etsy. So every time basically someone would purchase this, Printify would notice that this number has been sold, and then it would automatically sync to the specific size and the specific template. However, this is such huge hassle just to copy every time. So I recommend just syncing stuff as orders come, because when you actually get orders, you get this little, and you import orders, because if an order hasn't actually synced properly, it will show up here in other orders, and then you can just press the order itself, import the template that the order should be printed using. Then there will be like this little pop-up that says, do you want to automatically import orders with this product variant? And that just means that the SKU, like this specific size and this specific color, will be synced to this specific size and color and template on Printify. But you do that just each time each size and color gets sold. But that's the easiest way, in my opinion, to just sync orders. That's the way that I do it. So to sum up the last part, I'd really recommend to have all of the mockups set up on Canva, so you can easily just drag and drop your design. You can upload it to Canva, press this upload button, drag the design on top of the mockup, and then just hit download, and do that same for each mockup. Then I usually just have different tabs for each mockup and then just download them as I go. When you push them to Etsy, I'd highly recommend just copying listings instead of actually pushing them through Printify, as it's a whole other ordeal to just upload your design on Printify. Make sure that everything's correct, save the template, then push it to Etsy. In my experience at least, most of the listings that I've actually put up haven't even sold. I can just skip the Printify part and just copy listings on Etsy, swap out the photos and just change the SEO and then just list it. And once it's actually selling, I can then sync it as orders are coming in. That's the way that I do it, at least. All right, so we just went through how you can use ChatGPT with scalable designs. If you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it helps out a lot with growing the channel. And if there's anything that you want to see me talk about next, just drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to help out. I'll see you in the next one.